All right. April, would you come on up? And you know what? I left my microphone right here. I apologize. Can everyone welcome April Reese?
Am I on?
This is April Reese, and she is a part of the Restoring Lives International team. And hopefully most of you know, because we've been kind of clogging your email and putting it on Facebook and trying to make sure that everyone is aware that coming this Friday night, we are going to break free. Whatever you're struggling with, whatever you're wrestling with, we are going to break free. And this is the heart of Restoring Lives International. So April, would you just give us a little maybe background story of how Restoring Lives International, which is led by Mike and Bryn Kelly, how that has had an impact on your life?
Oh my goodness. Good morning. I don't know if there's a way that I can actually describe how RLI has had an impact on my life. I don't think that there is an area of my life that has not been touched by the ministry. Not only have I received emotional healing, restoration of relationships, physical healing, but intense spiritual growth. And I think that it's a ministry that we come alongside the church. And I think that when you are a Christian who loves the Lord and you're actively involved in your local church, sometimes you don't really recognize what other ministries and organizations have to offer in support of your local church and in support of your Christian walk. And I didn't realize how amazing my life would be impacted by this ministry, to the point that I quit my job and began working for them full time. So,
wow.
So it's been total life transformation for me personally.
Wow. How many of you went through the week-long Restoring Lives International Conference, either here or somewhere else? Yeah, all over the place. That's awesome. This is not a week long. This is kind of like really jam-packed into a day and a half. And so can you just give people feedback, especially those who have not experienced a Restoring Lives International Conference? Yeah. What are they going to experience in this? And for those who've been through the week-long conference, April, they may be saying, you know what, I don't need to go to this because I've already covered the material.
Well, it is completely different material. So that's the important part to start off with. After 15 years in ministry, the Lord really began to show Bryn the things that people were dealing with before they came to the conference, the things that were really holding them back, those areas where they were struggling. So she wrote this event with that in mind, to really give people an introduction to what our ministry does. And it is incredibly freeing. And this event is fun. I mean, we are singing and jumping around.
We do not like to have fun here at ECC.
It is like 12 action-packed hours of God fun, where you are just getting really amazing, impacting kingdom life truths that you can apply to your life, ministry to just receive some freedom of burdens that you might be carrying, and the goal is for you to break free, break some boundaries in your spiritual life so that you can move forward. And it's amazing, and it's not the commitment of the full week. Now, obviously, it's designed so that the next step in your journey is coming to the full week conference. And I had a guy say to me he came to Breaking Free in January, and he looked at me and he said, after my wife came in September to a conference, I heard about it and I thought, no, I don't really need that. I don't need that whole week long jazz. He said, but that 2-day thing, I can do that. And after he came to the 2-day intro, he went, oh my gosh, this is what God has for me. So I'm going to go to the week long. And he looked at me and said, this has been a total game changer. My life is totally changed. How did I miss out on this? So we do what the local church doesn't always have time to do. Some of that soul work that the church really wants to. Pastor Phil loves you guys. I mean, the way I hear him talk about his church, it's like so inspirational. He has such an amazing heart for you guys. And I believe that his goal is to just align himself with ministries that are going to bring healing and transformation into your life so that you can live the life God's called you to.
Amen. Well put. Speaking of, she mentioned that the local church doesn't have all the time in the world to invest in you. And if you're not connected into a small group, or you're not going Tuesday night to Celebrate Recovery, any Celebrate Recovery people here? Breaking Free? Celebrate Recovery is all about breaking free. And so if you're not plugged into somewhere like that, all we can give you is Sunday morning. There's not a lot that we can do for you to take ownership for your walk with Jesus throughout the week in 90 minutes. And so this is definitely for all of you. And so, April, if we could just end with this question. There's a lot of people that may be really struggling and even just ready to just break down even now as I speak and said, I need breakthrough. I need God to come through in a mighty way. And so I know that those people are going to come because especially, by the way, money should never be a hindrance because all you have to do with the registration is put ECC VIP and it's completely free for you. By the way, $15. Some of you may not have it at this point, and that's okay. But some of us, $15 is like we put down at Burger King or Steak and Shake. It's the value of this is just, we don't even have to go there. But if it is a hindrance, don't worry about it. Just put that in the registration. So anyways, back to the question. Those who just are not sure if this is for them, maybe they're on the fence, maybe they actually don't have any issues that they're really facing that they know of. What would you say?
I would say that I'm 37 years old. I'm a pastor's kid. And I've never met a Christian that didn't have an issue. I mean, I think that we're all here because we know we need something. And it doesn't matter what you're dealing with in life. God comes and he meets you where you are at our events. I think that's one of the amazing things that makes this ministry so unique, made it unique for me, is that you get an encounter with God's love and God knows exactly what you need. So whether or not you're dealing with just a little bit of like maybe guilt, a little bit of shame, and you just feel like you're not getting to where you need to get in your walk with the Lord because that inner self-talk maybe is holding you back, we're going to address that. And if you're dealing with some really deep stuff, like really deep self-hate or fear, we're going to address that stuff. We're going to talk about the power of your thoughts and the things that we believe. There is so much that we encompass in 12 hours. There is something for absolutely everybody. And here's the thing, is that if you don't know what you need, then what have you got to lose? It's 12 hours of your time. If you're not any better off at the end of it, then you didn't lose anything. But what if God has something for you? What if God has something for you that you just didn't realize? Because that is definitely what happened to me 8 years ago. I didn't know what I didn't know. Yeah. And God changed my life. So this could be your moment. Yeah. You know, our doors are open to anybody, and we see people from all walks of life get completely transformed, and it is like the best ever.
And we're not going to force you. We don't do that here at ECC. Jesus didn't force himself upon you. And so this is something that you need to pursue. But here's a metric system, okay? If you are not experiencing the fullness of joy in Christ's presence continually and consistently, what that's saying to you and saying to me is that there are things in your life stocking up your well to keep you from that fullness of joy. And so obviously there's something that you need to be broken of and experience freedom. So if you're one, and there are some of you that are just walking full in the joy of the Lord, I would say still come so that you can help and take tools to equip others to walk in that same joy. So can we thank April again? Thank you so much, April.
Thank you for having me.